Hey guys, welcome back to part two of our previous conversation. We'll just pick it up where we left off, shall we?
I would
think I still
say
have to
another
decide.
caveat, guys,
Mm.
Go on.
is that I do think that a lot of the times with the natural hair community, we are our biggest ops
Okay.
in the sense of again, we've already touched on the texturism and discrimination against I don't know whether I don't know what to call it, but density discrimination. And yeah, because that's what it is. That's honestly what it
It's
is.
true.
It's no
Hair,
joke.
all of that.
It's
Um,
giving hydration elation.
do you know what I mean?
No, don't bring as I
Um,
am into discrimination.
Sorry.
But do you know what I mean? That, and then the viewing on your hair length, and then even an issue with us being our biggest enemy, number one, in terms of how we look at each other when we're dealing with our natural hair. And there are people that obviously decide to say cut their hair or decide to do whatever to their hair. And one of the biggest things that I saw, which was a bit weird, was the people that would be my hair is my crown. Those ones that would fight for that one, because it was okay, I get it. I get the standpoint, but it is a bit of a techie conversation, because what does that crown then look like? And that's another issue. And I learned about I didn't know within the lock community there's beef. There's beef in the
yeah,
lock
the
community.
oil and water
I believe.
retwisters and the gel retwisters.
Not even them.
Oh,
I'm talking about manicured versus freeform, and the language that they would use, that people who had manicured locks would use towards people that had freeform locks. And I was seeing it regularly, even in conversation. A great example, I guess, of freeform locks is Basquiat, Jay-Z now, The Weeknd back in the day. They all had freeform locks, and the way that people would speak about their hair, even now, it was dirty, it was unkept,
It was looked after. Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
In general, locks
Yeah.
are viewed as dirty.
Yeah, they
But
are.
even within the lock community, there are people that have manicured
Ah.
locks. You know, the people that will go regularly to get their lines sorted out or whatever. You'd have people that have locks that look like Chloe and Halle, for example. There'll be people
So with
that,
visible parting, essentially.
yes, yeah. There'll be people that were speaking like that, and the people that were the locticians, they would speak down upon people that have freeform locks.
That's
And they'd be
sad.
like,
That's
"You're-"
weird.
Yeah.
But then that gives because they didn't come and service the service that you're
even
offering
outside
as well.
of that, though, they'd be like, even if you don't come to me, go to someone, because your hair is dirty. Your hair
Do you
is
know what's
unkept.
interesting
So just
about
an
what you're saying,
attitude
yeah?
thing.
There is
Yeah.
a what's it called? There's a certain YouTuber. I don't know if it's specifically one person, but I've seen a few videos where they would do these lock transformations of basically, I guess, people that had free
That hadn't
lock.
retwisted in a while.
Yeah, and they would make her think, oh my gosh, it's been years and years and years, and that was basically the basis of their whole channel. And then it's once they'd parted the locks and separated them to make them look tidier, it's oh my goodness, now it's finally what it should be. Look how happy and healthy they
Exactly.
now
But
look.
even the silk press transformations, again, I think it speaks to attractiveness in society, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Right. And I think a lot of the times we buy into the beauty and the ugly complex, and it translates monetarily for a lot of people.
Definitely.
And in terms of as well how we speak to each other as a community, because it's not white people that are saying this stuff. Well, they are obviously saying
They
this
are,
stuff,
but
it doesn't help when we and ourselves,
we now do it
our
to each
community,
other.
reinforce
It's true.
that.
We definitely
And so it's
reinforce that in the
what
community.
what's going on? But a great creator who has freeform locks, her name is Mayowa's World. Very, very good. She speaks a lot about her journey with freeform and natural hair in general. Very, very great creator. 10 out of 10. I recommend. And I also think as well, what she does, which I respect, is I think that a lot of people do have, and I'm grateful that we're doing it today, is that a lot of people seem to have very surface level conversations about natural hair, but you're not really taking into account how people have like felt about themselves throughout that movement as well,
that journey,
and making the space for people to really speak up about how they feel about certain things. Do you know what I mean? Like I remember, I think I'd spoken to the girls about this before. I'd spoken to you guys. One of my favorite creators, she was talking about how during lockdown, she would usually have access to like a hairstylist or whatever, but because she had to stay in her home, she just had to like look after her hair. And I think for her, because obviously she has like ADHD, and obviously it's not something that she really wants to like think about anyway, she struggled to look after her hair, and it just wasn't on the top of her priorities list. Like that's just the case for some people. She was just focused on keeping it healthy, but it wasn't like something that was on her mind. And she basically held this live stream for women that had like kinkier hair. And that's another qualm. The fact that we even have to refer to our hair as 4Z, because 4C is not representative at all.
It was for weave, you know.
I agree that I get that it was for weave, but I think we all understand what's meant by kinkier hair.
People's hair in the first place.
Yeah, I agree.
There's been another system, because it was literally for a guy that made a weave line.
Oh, the guy for Oprah.
Probably, child. I think it was him, yeah.
He is his own person, Yeri.
He is his own
From Oprah.
being.
He was known before.
He was known before Oprah.
Oh, gosh. But yeah, he was like, oh yeah, this is my hairline, and 4C.
No way. I did not know that as well.
And then it transitioned into people then using it for actual like human hair that came out of your own scalp, even though this is manipulated hair anyway.
Yeah.
So it's unattainable anyway, because when you have like those type of things, it's chemically processed. That's what I'm trying to say. It's chemically processed, so it's formed into a shape. So your hair's not going to do that anyway.
Tell him.
Tell us. Yeah.
So my point was that they were having this discussion of women that had like kinkier hair, and I was watching it and I just thought like this is wild, because obviously like when you have like a circle of friends like this that do embrace natural hair, it's just like listening to other people's perspectives and experiences of the natural hair movement. It was very illuminating, because a lot of them were saying that they would watch all of these videos and see all of these different creators, and when they would do their hair, there was a dissonance between what they were doing. They would follow the routine and everything, but your hair is not looking like that at all.
Yeah,
it's not like you'll do your twist out and it's just not looking that.
It's not flowing the same way.
It's not doing the same. In fact, some people's hair just don't even flow.
It's even the size. I remember even like in the beginning when I was doing my own hair, like I would follow, when I didn't find my people at first, I'd follow people with looser hair textures, and they can get like big chunks. And it would come out and it would, do the thing. But for me, if I want to get some sort of definition, I need to get them small twists. So I'll be doing these big twists, and then I'll
just quarter it.
Literally.
And your hair is just like it's 4 chunks.
It's just a hair, girl. Do you know what I mean? And it's not the intended style that I wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
And so that can be frustrating. But
I agree. So like there was a lot of that, and then oh, you said something, because I had a thought in like response. You were talking about your twisting. Say that bit again.
Sections. I had to take smaller sections. Definition. I'll watch tutorials.
Definition. That's it. that was it. That was the word. I was gonna say as well that for a lot of people, they don't have definition in their hair, and when their hair is moisturized and healthy, some people's hair, I can say for myself, my hair's not looking shiny. It's not giving shine. And but my hair is still moisturized, if that makes sense. And I think sometimes the parameter for what healthy hair, because we all say that we want healthy hair and and we want diverse things, but the hairstyles that we uphold, the influences that we uphold, and our definitions for healthy still play into anti-blackness in one way, shape, or another. So
they do.
Yeah, so we do have a lot of work though. I agree. But it was just nice seeing these like honest conversations, because I think if we are really, really, really honest about where we are that's when we can see the change actually happening.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if we're all just like, yeah, like it was great, it was great. Do you know what I mean? But there are some women, like, guys, if I showed you the video, yeah, I left and I was just like, this is like, it's sad.
It is really sad.
It is sad.
And it's quite demoralizing.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, for them speaking, it was empowering for them to know that they're not alone in that experience. Yeah, because I can imagine how isolating that must feel. If you're looking and you're seeing like everyone's having a banging time, I'm here thinking like,
I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah.
And I think also there's a season where like the natural hair movement became like guilt tripping people that were not walking in it fully. Like if you were still relaxed in like 2020, it was like, whoa, you're
still relaxed.
You don't love yourself.
Public enemy.
Black enough. Public enemy number 20. You know, and it was just like a thing. I think that's for even now with like obviously the comeback of like relaxers as well. Obviously, minus like the, you know, the toxic side of things, which Janisha explained to us earlier, of like the chemicals being dangerous for the human body, like putting that aside, even though that's very important, guys.
Yeah,
but putting that aside,
factor, guys.
when a few people started like wearing weaves again, or like doing tape-ins or relaxing their hair, I remember the natural community went into an uproar of like, oh my goodness, you have destroyed the mountains that we have built. You don't love yourself anymore. You are anti-black. Like it became a thing of like us versus them.
It was
like,
a big thing.
It was a big thing. Like if you're not a natural, like even Yari at some point had to make a disclaimer to say she's a hybrid natural,
because people say like, oh, you're not natural hair. Like,
and it's like it became a thing of like, I'm better than you because I can wear my hair straight out of the shower without doing anything to it, or I'm better than you because I can wear my hair and I haven't relaxed it, or I'm better than you because I can wear my hair and not have it protected. And it was just like, guys, this is not this is not what we're after. The whole reason why the movement, well, I don't know who started it, but the whole reason why it became positive was because it was an empowering thing for all of us as Black people. But now it's becoming a thing of, I want to be the best, the better Black woman, or the better Black person with better hair. And it's like, guys,
and it makes you think like, as Nyari said about it, was the overall movement a failure? When you like start citing stuff like that, it makes you think, okay, so this whole time, were we embracing or were we just conforming? Because we're so quick to go back to the relaxers and to the thing, because that's what the masses and the majorities are on right now. So it's like, wait, did we ever love our natural hair, or did we just love the superiority complex that it provided
of having to
that it came with
natural hair?
Yeah. And then I think as well, like I think when I hear like a lot of Black women or Black people that choose to wear like their natural hair talk about the experiences that they have with like Black men, dependent on the way that they wear.
That's
because let's talk about how with each different hairstyle, you're gonna different genre.
You pull in a different guy, aren't you? It's very different, and it's just like it's weird because, like, you know, you might be walking out with your wash and go, you know, and a Rasta man might come to you, hey sister, you know, you might get that vibe. And the next day that you literally Empress,
my queen of the kingdom.
Literally.
See, it would be cute, but it's an uncle. Also, it's catcalling. So
I
not New York.
Back up.
No, thank you.
Back up. And then you might like have on like literally, you might have on like your bust down 28 inches wig. And that might pull a different guy. And then
it gets the wave warriors.
The wave warriors. And then some guys, they'll be having to do-rag to match you with the inches as well. Like, you know, the do-rags as long as your weave. You know, so it's like, it's weird, like with the interactions with Black men. And again, if we're talking about society and how your attractiveness and wanting to find a partner or a mate or whatever, and how that affects the way in which you wear your hair,
present yourself,
it's sad because it's like a lot of Black women like talk about the fact that they are more approached by white men when they wear their natural hair than they are when they, you know, than Black men. And it's like, why is that? So it's not just important that Black women have these discussions, but it's important that Black men have these discussions, especially if you're choosing to have children with Black women. And so therefore the way that you speak is going to affect your daughters or your sons or whatever, your children.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so Black men need to be having these conversations as well.
I agree.
Because it affects their children.
Yeah, I agree. That's interesting because I saw a podcast episode literally a few weeks ago, like on YouTube Shorts, when they were talking about exactly that, and they had like a panel of Black women, and I think one
These
of the
panel
women,
podcasts,
the panel,
there's so many.
Gosh, there's so many of them. Yeah, they were basically talking about a similar situation about how what's it called, about how depending on how the women on the panel were wearing their hair, different men would interact with them, right? And this specific, particularly this woman, I think she had locks, right? And she was talking about like the time before she had her locks and when she used to wear her hair in like weaves and, you know, stuff like that. And she was saying that the treatment that she got was so different because the type of people that approached her were very different. And the way people treated her, when she started embracing her natural hair, she felt like people treated her better. But there was one, which was interesting because it's different to what you guys were saying. But
I kind of get it though.
Yeah, she said that people were treating her better, like specifically Black men were treating her better.
Yeah, because they think it's like, ooh,
like you're a real queen, right?
I think it's a class thing as well.
It's like a class thing, right? And then some of the women that were on the panel, because everyone's hair was different at the time, and there was like one specific woman who like she had a really, really like long black slick wig, right? Ooh, and I remember in that stunning scalp, it was giving scalp, right? But in that conversation, I remember like one thing that I noticed, and a lot of people pointed this out in the comment section, was that when the other woman was talking about her like having locks and the treatment that she got, the other women on the panel that didn't have necessarily the same hair journey as her were giving argumentative, right? It was giving argumentative, it was giving hater, it was giving like, why are you mad, right? And then people in the comments were like, oh, see how the women that are not embracing their hair are the ones that are being haters, blah 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 blah. And I was like, guys, this is why our community is still divided. Because you can't just appreciate that someone else has had a good experience with their hair and that they're enjoying that, and that okay, I don't necessarily want the same journey as you, or I'm not walking the same journey as you, but I can appreciate what you're living in, and that you're living in that for whatever your reasons are that you've decided to take that journey, right? And I can still take my journey and still enjoy my journey without necessarily being offended by yours, you know? And that made me really sad, because when I first heard her speaking, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is great, this is beautiful, you've had a great experience, right? But then I was like, okay, the other women in the panel were treating her differently because her hair was different. And also people in the comments were treating everyone differently, and it was just a whole uproar. And I was like, oh, because and hairstyles, guys, we need to change.
But like you said, segue.
Segue.
Seg here. No, segue.
That sounds like such an insult, you know. Segue. I'm gonna say that to someone one day.
Segue. That's how we should close off the episode, guys.
Segue.
I was just gonna say, in terms of like perceptions regarding like your natural hair, right? And obviously how like obviously we've spoken about like how people are affected in romantic relationships. I'll touch on that a bit later. But in terms of like how people perceive you as well, based off of your own hairstyle, that's why I feel like, again, we internalize things as political all the time, whether we know it or not, right? And so this one girl was saying she had locks, and like she was just like, guys, people keep approaching me like I know how to do herbal remedies, like I know like I do crystals, like I genuinely don't. I listen to hip hop. I don't listen to R&B. Like
I don't listen to R&B
because people will assume.
People will assume they know your whole.
They're gonna assume she knows all Lauryn Hill. She knows
Sade. All of that. Do you know what I mean?
Like, girl, I'm still listening to Camila Cabello, please.
But she's talking about like,
I'm joking.
Yeah, so she was just saying like in her experience that people will approach her differently based off of that, and even like in regards to exactly assumptions and how you even like, I think we'd spoken about this earlier on, like in the podcast, like generally in our podcast, how we like perceived each other when we first met or didn't even speak. Like one of my friends said she thought I was a dang coon. I said, what? And she was like, it's mainly because of your braids. I said, my braids.
Which is interesting.
Which is very interesting.
Like, obviously, when I saw like Jan, I'd seen like, from what I'd seen depicted in media, I was thinking, oh, she's wig gang. She's one of those.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean?
I think I wore a wig for all of 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I was wig gang.
Where is she, Janisha? Do you even know where it is?
So you were doing that.
No, Janisha, you were wig gang.
You were
for that
doing
whole
it.
year, babe.
That wig was doing you, bro. Till it had
and you even got a new one. Remember, you had the straight one that you used to wear at the beginning of second year. You were up in the wig gang.
The doorhead. I always bring this up.
No, that bald patch. No. It was given the Red Sea. It was given
what it
Moses
is,
came with
I
the
feel
stuff.
like
The Israelites are still walking through that bald patch.
Like
they're still
the wig life.
It.
The wig life wanted to leave you before you were ready.
Yeah,
to leave
it said, "Girl,
it said, you know what? I'm gonna help you."
from me
because I had my wig, I think, before you, and my wig still had it.
No,
I had a synthetic that lasted longer than yours.
Did you? Oh, well, girl.
When you met me, I had a wig on. But
yes.
Anyway.
But yeah, back to the point of like, obviously we do perceive each other differently based off of what our hairstyles are. And like, you probably like, even in like songs as well, I was listening to one artist, right? And he was just saying like, I want the like artsy girl that has like her natural hair and because we all know what that means. Do you know what I mean? And it has certain connotations. And back onto the like comment about people in their romantic relationships, one creator I'd seen was saying that because of the circles that she's in and how they perform wealth, certain natural hair, I guess adjacent, because we're all finicky about what natural hair is and pedantic, they would wear like tape-ins or whatever. Well, oh gosh, I said tape-ins. They would wear they would wear like tape-ins and get their hair like silk pressed. So like, think like people that perform wealth, like the Obamas. Right? She was able to do her hair like that. Do you know what I mean? And people within those circles would look at her and think, oh, you're respectable, you're attractive, you're right? But then there'll be different people that will perform wealth completely differently. So think like your Keisha Chaos. She has like bright wigs that are just laid. Your Nicki Minaj's, your Meg Thee Stallions, they perform wealth completely differently. They're probably all in the same tax bracket or similar tax brackets. Well, no, they're all the same now. Yeah, they're all the same. But they all perceive hair differently because it has different political connotations to it. So the whole natural hair thing that Jan was talking about, if you have like some affluent Black people that are say like invested in education, they tend to present themselves a certain way compared to people that are more so in the entertainment industry.
Definitely.
Whether it be rap or R&B or whatever, they
actors.
Yes. So they all present themselves differently. I feel like actors though, in terms of Black women, they are, what we're now seeing is they're more inclined to test out different natural hairstyles.
It's changed a lot. Because I
compared to the
when
2000s.
we were growing up,
literally,
that Best Man's
what is it? The
Wedding?
Best Man.
All
There's
of
another
them.
one coming out, you know.
There
Did
is.
you know
I
I saw that.
No way.
That way was anyway.
Isn't it like
It's
a
on
Christmas
Peacock. Who's got Peacock, bruv?
Use VPN.
VPN.
Oh dear.
But because when you think about that era, they were all giving, you know,
relaxed
or silk press. I think it was all relaxed, to be honest.
I think it was weave as well.
Weave.
Era.
And they weren't
Weave
even doing
era.
wigs yet. They were still doing leave outs.
They were still doing
Yeah.
leave-outs,
Wigs
yeah.
at that point, wigs was like, oh, you wear a wig?
Yeah, like I feel like
So
it was like
crazy
a wig
how
was
things have
that were
changed.
wearing wigs.
changed.
Yeah. Because
Things
it was like, oh, you wear a
changed.
wig?
Yeah.
So big.
Yeah, we're talking about the one that was
Beyonce.
to the side.
Yeah.
Like the faux pixie cut. It wasn't really giving pixie cut.
I remember when my mom got one of those. Me and my dad were like,
Didn't all the mums have? Oh my goodness, guys! horror story. There's one time when like me and my family were like moving, yeah. And we had like moved and I didn't have any of my stuff. I told Janisha the story. I didn't have any of my stuff, right? Because we were moving. And literally I was forced to go into a wedding, like randomly for people that I didn't know, right? But I was forced to go to this wedding and I don't know why, but my mom never usually like forced me to do things. But for this one, she was like, no, you have to go. You have to go. And I was like, Mom, I don't even have my clothes. What am I going to wear? Tell me why I had to wear one of my mom's dresses and one of her wigs because my hair wasn't. Guys, that was the worst day of my life. I've never felt so uncomfortable. I was literally 13.
You were 13? In a grown woman's wig.
In a wig. I can't even tell you. I've erased that picture from my mind.
That's the type of thing.
I said,
you don't even erase it. It's been scratched.
It's been scratched. It's been out of my prefrontal cortex because honestly, I would never want to remember that. And I remember, obviously, the only thing I'm grateful for is that like I met someone like who's like a very close person in my life now. But besides,
but you know, like it's lucky that you met that person because I don't know if I would interact with you on that day.
This is the thing. I didn't have any of my clothes because we were mid-move. My mom made me go, and I wore this random skater dress, and her wig, guys, her wig.
What did it look like?
Yeah, it was short. It was like. Guys, do you know what? I don't even know why I brought this up because I feel like I'm reliving trauma.
And you know, Gary's gonna bring it up You should have never told that one.
I'll even draw a picture for you. I'll be practicing for my YouTube.
For your YouTube. No. So every time we talk about like wigs back in the day, that memory is burnt into my head. Maybe that's why I didn't wear wigs until uni. That makes sense. I was traumatized from that one wig experience.
Of the trauma.
Janisha, you know how much that traumatized me, babes, because we've spoken about this. Hey. But I live to see another day. Carry on. No, it was you talking, babes. It was you talking. So you're talking, or was it Janisha?
I think it was Jan.
It was Janisha. Back in the day, for movies, we would never see natural hair. We would always see weaves and
no, you wouldn't. Wigs was not a thing. Wigs was not a thing. At all. It just wasn't a thing at all. No. And then wigs became a thing.
Yeah.
I remember because my sister every day was getting DHL. I remember. And that's why I'm so thankful that I'm a youngest sibling because there was a tiny phase where I wanted like my braids to look like you know how now we have like the bang, yeah? So I used to tie my braids so you can't remember this story.
You used to tie your braids to do curtain bangs.
Get a bang. God forbid.
Bangs,
apart from that, and you know, everyone in my life said, Janisha, stop. Everyone. And you didn't. Everyone. I think the only person that liked it was probably Tony.
Tony will support you in everything, Janisha. So we can't count him.
No, we can't count him in this one.
Just like, oh no.
Right, Tolly, we're gonna have to have a chat after this because
you were letting our girl walk out like
you were letting our girl walk out.
No, but clearly though, it didn't matter who said it because she said multiple people.
You know what it is, guys? This is the thing. I know Janisha, so you know what? When Janisha's made up her mind that she likes something, she likes it. You can never change her mind, even if it's unconventional. So you know what? She liked the curtain bang that was tied from a braid.
My mom was like, "What is this nasty?" So apart from that phase, I never went through like a bad hair phase, bad makeup phase. Apart from that phase, I'm so thankful I was the youngest sibling, man, because I had guidance. I never got mash up weave. I never got none of that. Because Jasmine went through it.
It's character building. It's character building.
It is.
I had my one character build.
It was.
I was so like stubborn. It didn't even character build because I was just like, no.
I think as well, Janisha, it was low key rebellion. Like you were trying to not let people be right.
I said no.
So you were like, at all costs, I'm gonna protect.
Even in your school friends. I remember one of my school friends was like, Janisha.
That's how you know you were in the wrong. That's how you know,
mate.
And I was just like, no. it's gonna stay like this. But anyway, when your peers tell you that it's wrong, that means that it's wrong.
Peer review.
Because everyone's looking mad. For them to bring it up, you look.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when your child goes through that, you can't tell them no, because they're gonna be like, no back, and just wear it.
He said, I can't wear my Converse with my dress. That's what he's giving.
And even then, let's talk about public shame.
Because shame is free. Nyari used to say.
Shame is free.
Shame is free.
Nyari used to say we need to bring shame back.
Oh, it's both of you.
No, Lavon, it was
please,
please
don't come in
that.
You
it was
can I say?
thing and you
Can I
wrote
say?
Did we not have an episode where Lavon also said that with me?
Yeah, but Nyari,
I was never going to bring it onto the podcast.
You taught me that. You taught me that though. You
Listen, that was for
taught me that.
group chat. That was for the group chat.
I didn't know it was an exclusive.
Podcast.
I thought it was for the whole world to
private
know
use.
that shame needs to come back.
Yeah,
But
we're rejecting shame now.
we're bringing shame. Oh, we're rejecting shame.
Yeah, we're leaving
How?
shame behind.
But you didn't.
it's actually-
You didn't catch me up. You didn't catch me.
Well, no, but Lavon, if I talk about catching up, then I'll get you.
Listen, you didn't open my messages today, so you can't get me. I can't be gotten. Yeah.
But Lavon, if we look at the
Me and Chivo just like,
if we look at the dates of the messages,
guys, we're talking about natural hair, okay?
if you look at the dates of the messages, what about the dates of those hair products? Let's bring it back.
Oh my goodness, hair products expiring.
All of that.
Guys,
To leave it alone, man.
You know, I threw
still
away a curl activator that I've had since first year the other day.
But what would happen
This is the
if
thing.
it's expired?
I wasn't using it anymore, but I still had it in my hair box.
Sometimes you hold on to it because sometimes
That's
you're
the
like,
problem.
because
That was like my first hair product. Like,
oh, so you
or
had
maybe one
attachment.
day the natural community will say it's good again.
right?
Do you remember when people tried to call out eco?
Blue
I said,
Magic.
"Leave it alone.
Remember Blue Magic?
Grease, yeah, grease, anti-grease.
I never left.
Sorry,
I never
Nia
left.
will be greasing.
I used to take Nyari's.
I can't lie.
She
I
did.
was never,
My
yeah.
big tub.
Because I didn't
the
know they had a
mix.
leave-in.
Do they?
They have it
Yeah,
all.
Nyari had like a leave-in
It was like
thing.
a
I
light
was like,
green one.
what?
I
It was
loved it.
amazing.
I
Honestly.
think I should get it for you again.
Oh, babe. I
Yeah,
had to
maybe
add it to
I'll
my grey
We'll
box.
do a circle of products.
It's an affordable one.
It
Just for the
is.
other girlies. It's actually
Yeah.
an affordable
Blue
one.
Magic
It's not.
yeah.
leave-in.
It's so good. It's like a light
Really
green.
amazing.
It's like a
Yeah,
pale
really pretty
sage
colour.
color. Yeah,
And
it's
it
like-
didn't flake. It was really good. I
No,
liked it.
Magic.
It was good. But anyways, my point was that
Yes. Let's come back.
oftentimes in the Black community, we be shaming each other for our own hair.
We do.
Like for
all the
Mm.
time. All the
like
time.
the edges
Yeah.
thing. Like I remember someone was talking about it. Yeah, like you can walk here, and I remember in Cambridge, yeah, when we used to all work at the same place, right? Throwback to season 2,
Cabs.
episode 1. You'll see like we were all living together. Now, plot
Yeah.
twist, we're not.
Plot twist.
Figure out what happened. Comment down below.
Connect the dots.
So yeah, when we were all living together, I'm not gonna lie, because our workplace was majority white.
Yeah.
When I tell you I had the most busted wig
Yeah.
of all time,
Yep.
all time. I swear one day my wig was even back here,
all
fam.
time.
Janisha said, yeah, Nyari, with your wig full.
Oh my god, I remember that. I was like, yeah. I know that, you know.
And I know this is not your bag, so I don't want you to walk out looking like this.
Exactly. This is not your standard.
This is
Right.
The standard.
But it's like when white people see the hair, right?
yeah.
Because they don't know what's going on.
they don't know.
what the
Even when they're
standard
gonna tell
should
you,
be.
oh my gosh.
What?
They'll compliment
Hair looks
you.
different today.
My lace may not be given scalp, and you'll
Yeah.
still compliment me.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I
Best
could
wig
go
I've
around
ever
black people,
seen.
and black people will know because we
No,
all
black people will
understand
clock
the
you.
mechanics behind it.
Black people.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
Yeah.
not doing it well.
Like
Yeah.
remember even
Like-
bonnet slander from Monique.
Yeah, do you remember
She was
Monique?
telling people not to wear
You're in
bonnets.
the airport,
The
with your bonnet.
Let
your
people wear their bonnets. Because I'm sorry, if you caught me going to the corner shop, I will look like a rat on the highway. And like, there's no shame. It's given voice.
Take a
You know what I mean?
picture.
You want another one?
you got it now.
But
you know what? This is so interesting that you bring this up, Nyari, because before we started, when we had this episode in mind, I thought to myself, I remember, this is so interesting, guys. I'm going to be a bit transparent here, but I remember I was thinking to myself, okay, usually I wash my hair on a Tuesday, right? And I remember I was thinking to myself, you know what? Maybe I should wash my hair on a Wednesday that week so that when we do the natural hair episode, I can have like my braid out so I can have my natural hair out. But look at me today. Do I not have a headscarf on?
She said, girl, you gonna get what you get.
Bro, because I thought we were going to do the natural hair episode a while ago. I had my natural hair out.
It's just interesting, you know, that you say that, like what you were saying about like being shamed for like looking a certain way or like not having your hair look a certain way. Because unknowingly, I had that thought in my mind actually about filming this episode because I was like, you know, we're talking about natural hair, so I need to have natural hair out. Like I need to come.
I did as well. I was like, I want to have
natural
my
hair community.
Yeah.
Dang, it's all being exposed.
Yeah. Go away. Oh, what was it?
Segue. Yeah, but that was a little segue. Yeah.
But yeah, and it's just like having to keep up with those standards. Like sometimes just let someone live.
Yeah.
Because I think
life
as much
is
as
difficult, man.
Yeah.
Every day do I have time? Please let me live.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And it's interesting how it looks different in different communities of hair. Let's say like you just spoke about how it looks for like the free form people that have locks, and then the people that have partings in their locks. And then even for me, because I don't necessarily wear wigs, so my styles are going to be like braids, cane rows, things like that. I don't like, and that's why I stick on my hair so quickly, because as soon as I start to see any type of thing, I wanted to cut my hair. I hate it. And I had to get to a point where I was like, no, you can't.
Why do you hate it?
No, why do I just like it? I was just like, no, as soon as it's messy, and it could to normal people. And I remember I would every time I used to get my hair done, and I would go see Tolu, I'd be like, can you see things? I'd be like, look, like are there any things sticking out? And then after a week, I'd be like, okay, what is it looking like now? What is it looking like now? And then when it's like 3 weeks, I'm like, these gotta go. They gotta go. But even though they
no one's seeing it.
No one else is seeing it, but because you can be so critical over your own hair. I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, these are disgusting. I'm literally
based on a standard that
they need to be ripped out.
Yeah.
And even saying that, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, like we repent, innit? We repent. We change and we grow,
Okay.
But
what are you coming to say? Some things just stay in the girls group chat. So with that in mind, we're gonna finish it, guys. So it's my turn to do the verse of the week. I can't say that.
We all know there's a lot.
Verse of the season.
Verse of
the half year, of the quarter,
of the year,
of the quarter.
Verse of the quarter.
Literally.
The fourth quarter of the year. So it comes from Matthew 10, verse 30. When I was looking, because I was like, okay, like something about hair. There were so many verses about hair. I searched the word hair.
Did you look at Samson?
Of course, Samson came up. Samson, a bit of Job. It was like the hairs on my stood up. Like a lot of imagery, a lot of metaphors, a lot of this. And I was just like, I just want something about hair, but kind of. I just had to like think of finesse. You know what I mean? I had to finesse it a tiny bit. So,
you and the Holy Spirit were doing gymnastics.
We were like,
to be honest, I'm quite interested to see the direction you're going to take for this.
I think it's quite cliche. But anyway, it's Matthew 10, verse 30.
Wait, can we guess?
Okay,
is it going to be like growth? Is that going to be like, oh no, that's my guess. What's your guess of the word?
My guess
don't be too specific.
My guess is no, I won't. My guess. No,
Hebrew
my
word
guess.
is
Oh, I don't know actually. Like, I don't know, like like Jesus tending to something.
Okay.
And like how we should like tend to our hair. I think that's how it goes.
It's just getting. Okay, actually, I'm not gonna say.
Let's trip her, guys.
Well, if Yvonne was warm, then I'm probably off. But I was thinking about their hairs being numbered.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because I said it's warm because it was Jesus that said it.
Yeah, Jesus.
Okay.
So it's in red.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yes,
so Matthew 10, verse 30. But even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. I thought that was quite cute. I thought that was sweet. I think it speaks of God's love and his adoration is the wrong word. It's just his love for us, you know? His love for us. So that was my verse of the week. And then my song of the week, it's just a song I've been listening to because I couldn't find one with hair. A gospel song with hair.
Okay.
I couldn't find that.
It's okay, babes. We didn't expect you to.
So it's just a song I've been listening to like every day. It's called All by KJ Scriven.
Oh, I love that song.
Who's KJ Scriven?
I don't know. I just found it, babe. I literally just, you know, like when you're playing your playlist and then it just plays other songs.
I'll put it on the playlist. That's a really good song.
It's a very sweet song. Everyone should listen to it.
That's the one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great song.
But yeah, guys, that's it. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Check us out on all of our platforms at The Redeemed Podcast. When you see 4 Black girls, it's us, okay? On Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube now. So yeah, just check us out. And Twitter. Yeah, but just check us out everywhere.
Yeah, Twitter. And TikTok.
But just check us out either way. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it blessed you. And yeah, that's it, guys. Bye.
Bye.